We also have the Deputy Director, Academic Services, the person of Professor Mariam P. Academy. We have the Deputy Director, Learner Support and IT, and is in person of Professor Aliu Suleiman. The Secretary of the Center is seated with us, actually, the person of Mrs. Aishat Aiba. While the orientation is on, when other principal officers come in, we do the introduction. And we like we all know, the distance center has been open for 4 faculties, and we have the dean. Yeah, let me quickly introduce the dean so that you know the dean of your faculty. We have the dean business management, University of Control, Kaduna Bible. We have the dean arts and social science. Her name is Dr. Mariam Bala Adamu. We have the dean science and technology. He's a person of Sani Mohammed Sani. We have the dean administration and education, the person of Malam Ibrahim Chiko. As time goes on, you also get to know your program coordinators. I know some of our existing students already know who our program coordinators are. Let me also welcome those who are joining us virtually. You are all welcome. This morning we'll take the welcome address from the director. I'd like to call on the director to give us the welcome address.
Thank you and good morning to you all, those present physically and those present online. Maybe the large numbers will actually be online since this is supposed to be a distance learning program. So you're all welcome, and it's a great pleasure to welcome you all into the ABU distance learning. Okay, I think I'm loud enough.
This one.
It's this one that matters.
Yes.
Not this one.
Yes.
Then why did you give me this?
Yes.
But this one doesn't see like this. Okay. So like I said, sorry for the brief interlude. So you're all welcome to the ABU DLC community, and which is the largest dual mode distance learning community. When we say dual mode, those are modes in which universities operate both the conventional system and the distance learning system. But in terms of the Open University system, obviously the National Open University is the largest, but in terms of dual mode, ABU DLC is largest, and ABU DLC has been operational since 2012, 2013. So that's a long time, and we've grown from that number to a large number of students, I think, which is at the moment probably even larger than the normal ABU student community. So that's a large community, and obviously having to deal with that large community also comes with its own issues. But very importantly, this is an opportunity for that happened in order to address certain issues with respect to access and flexibility of studies, because some people will want to continue studying or even get a degree or get post graduate degrees, but because of family or work related issues, they need it's been a difficult until the open and distance learning system came into being. But we're also seeing a gradual shift in the demographic now. So now you even have young people that also have other things they want to pursue, that they don't want to be tied down by the rudiments of conventional schooling. So generally over the next few hours, you're going to be taken through the rudiments of the distance learning, especially telling you about the ABU distance learning program, how far we've come, the programs that exist. The MC just announced that we have four faculties, and she introduced the deans, but we also have 21 programs. I think 10 undergraduate, 10 postgraduate, 11 undergraduate programs spread across those four faculties. So you're going to be taken through that history, the perspective, and how to navigate through the distance learning system, because it's a bit different from, it's largely different from the conventional program, because then you're compelled to have to attend physical classes sometimes, but here it's largely you have to push yourself to be able to do the right thing, because nobody is really monitoring or compelling you to do things, even though ideally you're supposed to have the requisite number of presence on the LMS during forum or discussion sessions or interactive sessions with your tutor. So during the next few hours, you're going to be taken through all these treatments. You're going to be taken through how to navigate the learning management system, because largely a lot of the things you're going to do will be done on the learning management system. And then some other things, so that as much as possible, you're going to have a lot of clarity about how the system runs, why you pay what you pay for, and all of those things, and how to properly channel issues, because there will definitely be issues somewhere. You have challenges with registration, you have challenges with results, you have those kind of things. So you will also be taken through the proper channels to communicate your issues with. And like I said, and I think it's very important if you're just starting now to understand the large number of people we are dealing with in the distance learning system. And so you don't necessarily expect that if you make a complaint now, in the next 5 minutes or 10 minutes or in the next day, you should get a response. So you should also try as much as possible to be patient. Sometimes you will send some mails, you don't see a response because you expect to even see a response or even an acknowledgement. Sometimes it is not that they are not seen, they are seen, but sometimes there's too many things to have to deal with at the particular. But it's not as if your mails or messages are not seen or they are not considered. But sometimes it may just take a little bit of time to be able to deal with all of those issues. So I once again, you're all most welcome to the ABU distance learning community. And we hope in the next 1, 2, 3, or 4 years that you will be with us, you will have the best experience. And most importantly, at the end of the day, you are going to get the ABU degree. And as we say, we are naturally ahead. Thank you and good morning.
Thank you very much. The editor has done like almost 100% of my job, because I wanted to emphasize the need for us to listen carefully for education. These those that are doing virtually. Listen very carefully, because like you mentioned, channel of communication. As students, we expect you. You are the only distance learning students that have pleasure of reaching out to the director directly. I can tell you of the fact that if you're on campus, you may not be able to even see or even go or even see the HOD and take your complaints to. But in the distance learning, you have that privilege. So let's not abuse it. he mentioned channel of communication. Have your deeds. That's why I took my time to introduce the deeds. You have the deeds, you have the program coordinators. You also have call center, you have a writing officer. You have places to channel your challenges to. You don't just pick up your phone and call the director or pick up your phone and call the vice chancellor to channel complaints. Please, I want us from this orientation, we want to correct that. And I hope it is corrected. And while the director was making his presentation, the finance officer walked in and she's the person of Dr. Hachira Ali. I will also be co-anchoring this orientation with the next officer, student affairs, and she's the person of Mrs. Abnangere. Mrs. Aisha Taiba to give us her presentation on menstruation details and general student matters, such as NYC JAM and JAM regularization.
You the slide.
Like, no problem. The slide never still. The director, the principal officers, the dean, the program coordinators, our students, both physical and online, joining online. I welcome you all to this orientation ceremony of the Distance Learning Center, which is holding today, the 11th of July, 2026. I'm taking you to, though you have already mastered some of the activities I'm going to talk about, because we are starting with the registration processes. While we are here for this orientation ceremonies, the Distance Learning Center is a semi-autonomous institution, and the programs of the center are accredited by the National Universities Commission. All our programs, not a single one that is yet to be accredited, because we don't mount courses unless if they are accredited by the National Universities Commission. And at the moment, we have 21 academic programs, both at undergraduate and postgraduate. For the undergraduate, we have 21 programs. And then for the PG, we have 11 for the undergraduate, and we have 10 for the PG programs. How do we do our admissions? The admission in DLC is not like the on-campus admission, because the normal conventional university usually, the admission in the on-campus is usually once in a year, while ours is 3 times in a year. Thus, we have 3 semesters. We do 3 semesters, and in each semester, we do have admission in such semesters. Thus, we have in January, May, and September. So we admit during this period. And the requirement for the admission is the same as that of the on-campus. Whatever is done in ABU main campus is the same as what is usually done here in distance learning. I want to emphasize here that most of you usually do because we are online, sometimes we feel we submit something that will not be verified. As soon as, because with this AI era, you'll be able to like doctor your credentials. So know that whatever it is, or whatever you do, it's being monitored because you have to present yourself physically for screening. And even if you don't, you submit online, there's a way we verify credentials before admissions are given to you. So you should please take note because whatever you started with is what you will end with. If as a student, you decide to just submit what you feel should be submitted online, or doctor it, if you come to present, that is where we have issues with you. Because the admissions are just given temporarily. But after the screening, that's when you will have the authentic admission. The first one is notification. While after screening, you get the real admission if your credentials are okay. And for the registration, like I mentioned, I said you have to be physically present. You can also decide to do your screening online or at a cost. While you do this at no cost to you, if you are choosing online, you have to pay 20,000 naira for the screening. And you can go to any of our centers because we have centers in various locations in Nigeria. We have in Abuja, we have in Kano, we have in Sokoto, we have in Port Harcourt, Lagos, and Minna. We have in Gombe, sorry. And most of the times, now these days, what we do, wherever we have exam center, and we feel we have a quite number of students waiting for us to be screened, like we promise, we will provide whatever at your doorstep. The exams, we take it to various locations across the 6 geopolitical zones. Here we know we have subscription. But it's not that they are promising if you are 2, 3, 4, 5 in a particular location, we will visit or go to the location and establish an exam center. No, we don't do that. We put survey first to be sure that there are quite a number of students that are ready to enroll or that have already enrolled, so that we open an exam center for us to take whatever we want to ease things for our students. Likewise, the registration is also usually done that way. How do we do it? After we started the registration, we'll look at places where we have subscription, a good number of students there. So we follow them to that particular location and do the screening there. So you have all passed through these processes of registration procedures. If you visit, like the director has just mentioned, and also our able professional, you know, sometimes we have a lot of problems with our students. If you call once, twice, you keep on calling a particular number. You know, it's unsafe for you to be calling number continuously. If you call once or twice, the first approach is for you to leave a message. Either a text message or WhatsApp message since you have the number, or you drop an email. Because like they said, we are many. We can't attend to all at a particular time. So we need to know how we relate with people. Because sometimes the officer might be having a meeting, or he might be in a place where it is very difficult for him to pick your call. The next thing is you either call me, you call the secretary, call the deputy director, call the director, call the vice chancellor. It's not done. Please follow channels. If you drop a message, I assure you that that officer will read the message and he will respond to you accordingly. So please, let's try and be patient enough. Like I said, the screening you have passed through that original certificate is usually checked before admission is given to a student. And then you pay your courses. And if at the beginning you are unable to beat the system, at the end you will not be able to do that. Because at any point in time, from your admission, you know, you have signed an oath that if at any point in time it is realized that what you give false information, the university is at liberty to withdraw its admission. At any point in time, even if it is at the point of exit, because we usually do that. And this is one of the most difficult things we are facing at the moment. People will submit fake results, or they will submit sometimes if you don't have a certificate, or you don't have something NYSC or whatever, you know their requirement for admission. People write an undertaking that I will provide this maybe before the beginning of next year. And up to the time of your exit, you realize that you still need such, and people don't provide. If the officers you call, people will start telling all sorts of things to them. I'll do it too, I'll do this, I'll do that. You're a student. You don't have that right to be talking to an officer anyhow. Our certificates are not just given based on planning. We keep on emphasizing. DLC, like university certificate, is usually given based on character and planning. Your behavior can amount to withdrawal of your certificates. So please, just be mindful of your words to your tutors and your officers that are in charge of our activities. So after the processing, because this is what we do in the office, and then the record, we keep proper record of each and every student. Whatever is provided from the beginning is there with us in our register, because we don't delete. Even if we have it online and we have physical copies. So just whatever is there, we keep record for NYSC, for NUS, for anybody that might want to have records of students, be it a collective record or maybe individual record. Because we do have people who send for verification of students, whether they have actually attended a distance learning center or not. So we do keep records, we process academic transcripts. And then there's something I want to emphasize. Payment for whatever activity, be it school fees, certificates, transcripts, or whatever, is not done by cash. It's because when people, we do have complaints from people that I paid so amount to this person. Why would you pay to personal account? So we don't usually take that into action. It's like for you to decide how you get your money, because we always emphasize whenever we are telling or we are sending circulars, we say pay into social account. So you have to adhere to that. Otherwise, you are on your own. We handle letters of request for letters of introduction, verification of results, like I mentioned. But for the letters of introduction, some of you even abuse this privilege. Sometimes something that has no bearing, has nothing to do with us. you will start asking for letters of introduction. Like some of you asking for letters of introduction, you are a nurse and you want to renew your license. That means if you are not a student of GLC, they will renew your license because you haven't gotten that your RN certificate. Or somebody may want to leave the country. Sometimes we are mindful of the fact that some of you may want to go because they want to tell them that maybe I'm pursuing a program, I don't want to leave. But know that distance learning program will not prevent you from either coming back to Nigeria or staying abroad. You can start to be there when you take your exams wherever you are, because we do project exam at the moment for those outside the country. So please, if you are sending this, and I want to emphasize on the issue of NYSC. Like I said, we present results for NYSC activities. Distance Learning Center. Our students don't usually go for NYSC because it's something beyond us, like the director has just mentioned. The essence of distance learning in those days was for those that are already in the service. But nowadays, distance learning has come to stay in Nigeria because of so many factors. We have those, maybe some will even finish or graduate at the age of 20 years, and they are eligible to go for service. So we don't have that mandate to allow you to go for service. Some of you will tell us that now do go for service. We investigated. By the time I even went to NYSC trying to make trouble because we said distance learning don't go for service while they allow others to go. When we investigated further, we realized that the information given to us discipline. This is one of the most difficult things in DLC or with DLC students. Please, if you are here as a student, irrespective of your status, irrespective of who you are. You can be an employer of labor. You can even employ me, but still, provided you are here as a student, you are a student, you have to conduct yourself as a student. Because we do have a lot of issues with you, especially during examination. Some of you will be addressing our tutors as, I don't know, as if they are nothing. Someone would even tell you that, okay, please stand up because he suspected something. Stand up and let me change your skin. There's no one with examination. Somebody, I went for monitoring in one of our examination centers. A student was telling an invigilator that I knew my watch can buy you everything. Just her watch. And another person said, okay, Mr. Man, I can pay your salary for 1 year. He said, I'm in competition. I'm not competing with you, and I don't want to know who you are. As long as I'm here, I am in charge. So he is in charge. He is in charge. No matter how wretched, no matter how poor he is, provided he is an invigilator. And I'm talking of discipline again. Stop intimidating our tutors with for material things. Because that is prohibited. You are here to read. Some of you will tell me, it's a distance learning. I have paid so amount of money. It doesn't matter. We don't care how much you pay because to us, we are doing this distance learning of LPU like a giveaway. Because you pay 20,000 per course, and this is the amount we use to pay our tutors to do all activities. No federal government is giving us a dime. We use this amount to pay for services. Like for nursing, we need to augment what you pay, 10,000 naira, and they have a lot of activities. The center has to augment, maybe because the most area they are many. Maybe we pay from certain services and augment what we pay to them. So please, I'm not going to talk much about examination, malpractice, or whatever, because somebody is going to do it with that. But it's our responsibility to communicate to you, inform you that you are supposed to be here for this, and then we communicate you feedback. Why we usually call you? Because we want to be fair to our students. Maybe somebody doesn't want to be your face. He can decide to say, okay, I catch this, is copying from this, and that. But if you are here to defend yourself. You are here to tell us whether what he actually reported is actually true. We want to be fair to our students. We don't want victimization. So that's why we call you. And if you have found one thing, we have zero tolerance for examination and practice. The rules are the same, both on campus and outside, and in DLC. So please, you have to abide by that. I'm sure another person is going to talk on the rules. What constitutes what? If you do this, this is the punishment. The punishment is either running, rustication for academic session, one academic session, or maybe you can decide to withdraw your admission. So you have no right to say, okay, they are withdrawing my admission. Why would they? I will take them to court. If you go where you have no reason to defeat us, because we have some of the rules stated there. So, and another thing, like I said, we don't want our students to be victimized. If any of your tutors, because there are rules for students and also there are some for lecturers. If anybody is intimidating you as students, please report. Report anonymously, because you don't even need to mention your name. And if you are taking action, we will take action on this thing without mentioning any or indicting any students. No, report him and action will be taken. He will completely removed from, because if you do, or maybe he requested for something, a lecturer is requesting that you give him this and you do, both of you are what? Payers of the same fairness, because you are aiding corruption. So please, and for the doing I don't usually enter classes. At the back end, we have that. Talking outside, outside, nobody is going to take action, because as far as they are concerned, it's not before us. So report any negative activity in DLC. We are here for you. Every person here, provided he is a staff, action will be taken against him if he does anything contrary to our norms. I'm going to report him issues directly to the Vice Chancellor, to the Director, unless if they are getting out of hand, please. Because they are not the ones to solve your issues. Channels of communication, your issues will be solved. Unless if you have tried your best and you realize that nothing is going to come out of your best, then you report to the appropriate authority. So I welcome you once again to DLC, and I pray we are going to have a wonderful team with DLC. Thank you. In the office of the registrar and secretary of the Distance Learning Center, the secretary with the swag. Please, let's give a round of applause for her. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Amina Gereko Anchor. You are all welcome to this orientation program. I would like to call on Dr. Manasseh Maichiki to give us his presentation on behalf of the DLC and Deputy Director Academics, Professor Akodeu. Dr. Manasseh will be giving us a presentation on the achievements of academic excellence in Distance Learning Center, ABU, Ahmadu Bello University, and the guidelines of examination malpractice and course credit system. Dr. Manasseh, you're welcome to the podium, please.
Director, Distance Learning Center, Ahmadu Bello University, principal officers of the center, deans, program coordinators, and amiable students, good morning. As it was introduced, I'm making this presentation on behalf of our Deputy Director of Academics, Professor Miriam Akodeu, and the title is Achieving Academic Excellence in Distance Learning Center at Ahmadu Bello University. Slide is normal. So I want to start with this beautiful quote that says, learning is not attained by chance, but can be solved with ardor and attained with diligence. In other words, for you to achieve academic excellence, as far as learning is concerned, at the Digital Learning Center, you need to be diligent in whatever you're going to do, as far as the center is concerned. So, but let's look at what is academic excellence in the first place. When you talk of academic excellence, you are referring to achieving outstanding performance, demonstrating a high level of mastery to achieve and excel in educational activities. So, as far as we are concerned, excellence is not a destination, but it's a journey that you must continue as far as experience and learning is concerned. So, academic excellence is not just something you just attend, but then your commitment matters a lot, which is very, very important. And that is going to guide all the discussion we're going to be having. Because for you to attain any form of excellence or for you to achieve any excellence, you have to be committed. So we are meant to guide you on how to attain this excellence. And that is what our presentation is all about. So in EduDLC, how do you pursue academic excellence? First of all, EDU has developed a brand name. The secretary has mentioned it. And then, based on that, this brand name was earned through hard work and dedication. And we must uphold that glory. In other words, students at the distance learning platform always think as if they are supposed to be treated different from other students. And as such, they get themselves indulged in so many activities that are contrary to the rules and regulations of the university. Please, you earn a same degree as those on campus, and we cannot afford to tarnish the name of the university because of distance learning. So please, in as much as you are enrolled to the distance learning program, just know that you are a student of a university, and all rules and regulations covering academic activities are applicable to everyone, irrespective of the level of instruction that you are being instructed. So please, that brand name must be protected. Yes. And then, it is also renowned for academic excellence, and it has achieved so much ranking. The secretary has mentioned it, but let me just reiterate. As far as the Distance Learning Center is concerned, it is the biggest, it is the largest, and it's the best. We are setting the pace, and others are learning from us, and we cannot afford to backtrack. So whatever you're going to do, know that you're supposed to contribute to the excellence of the university and the center at large. So this is very, very important. And just to add that DLC is highly rated by AUC, and if you check the recent rating, will be dropping as far as accreditation and other activities are concerned. And we cannot maintain that without the contribution of the students. Students are able to stakeholders as far as the distance learning is concerned. And it means that whatever rules and regulations that are issued, we are expected to abide by them and make sure that they are followed to the latter, not compromising. So we are expected to contribute meaningfully, not just to the standard to the society, because whatever we produce, the graduate produce, and takes back to the society, and then that should reflect the training you receive at the center should reflect. And then, why do you pursue academic excellence? One is for your personal and professional growth. Yes, because as far as knowledge is concerned, one knowledge does also brings the mind. That is personally. Sometimes we think that we go to school, particularly the knowledge we have, is to get a certificate and the job and the rest. But first of all, it liberates your mind. So personally and then professionally, it can contribute to your growth. Also provides career opportunity and empowers to overcome challenges. Yes, because you may be required to present, let's say, a degree certificate. You're having you're already holding a HND certificate, but then presenting your degree certificate will promote you or be, in fact, your career can be changed as far as job career is concerned. So it gives you opportunity and to involve yourself in so many activities, and also gives you competitive advantage. You compete with others, just as I mentioned at the beginning. Everyone has a brand name. Anywhere you present a certificate coming from Madubuele University, it gives you a kind of a competitive advantage, and it depends on what you are involved in. And you are expected to also create impact. The society is supposed to create impact certificate then. You are not just setting it for yourself, which is very, very important. And it gives you the opportunity of lifelong learning. Learning is a continuous process, irrespective of your age. For example, someone maybe because of age may not want to subject himself coming on campus to undergo any form of learning, but the distance learning, you can continue to study. But I always give this example that we have people that have earned like 5 certificates as far as the distance learning is concerned, gives them that opportunity. So learning is a continuous process. It also qualifies learners for admission into graduate school. Yes, from the first degree you earn, you can use it to further your studies. Either within the professional line or the academic side. There is not any barrier. Present your certificate and you are given admission. And it also gives learners the opportunity to excel and to survive in competitive job opportunities. Yes, and it builds the patronage of peers. That's very, very important. To don't maintain the brand, there is no how students recognize us. Just imagine where you have people complaining that our standards are being undermined. Means that you're going to have less patronage. So it's very, very important. So for academic excellence to be achieved, we need to consider all these factors. And then, who are the key holders in ensuring academic excellence? First of all, the learners, like the student. We are a critical stakeholder as far as learning is concerned. In fact, as far as distance education is concerned, emphasis is on learners, not even the tutors or the lecturers, the KCA. So we are critical stakeholders. So whatever rules and regulations that are being issued by the university, it is not just to prevent or to be shown to make you uncomfortable, to make sure that standards is maintained, which is very, very important. GLC management, they are also a critical stakeholder because it's a kind of a symbiotic relationship. Yes, without the student, the management will be also not be there, and without the management, it's not how things can be run effectively or efficiently. So we are all critical stakeholders. Then we have program coordinators. I always tell students that program coordinators should be the first point of contact. Yes, that has been mentioned, but it's just for the point of emphasis. I'm very sure if I ask them of those who learn those details, if you know your program coordinator, I'm very sure half of the video will happen with program coordinators. Can we try it? Can we try it? Please, how many of you here know your program coordinators? And then the one, two, only two. You can imagine that's why always we be disturbing our directors because you have the people. Please, before the end of this orientation, we're going to share the contacts of program coordinators with you. And this should be your first point of all the support of program coordinators. It's very, very important because they are the critical stakeholder. And sometimes, if you have challenge, you can reach out to your tutors. And then the contact of the program coordinator. They will let you. The contact assurance unit is also a critical stakeholder. That is where we compile all activities. For example, at the middle or at the end of every semester, we issue survey and other forms of sources of information, and we do use it. But unfortunately, some students always think that when they think or they answer questions to the survey, we use it. But sometimes it's not everything that will come back to tell you that this is what from. But going forward, we find a way of also communicating back some of the decisions that we usually take to the survey. So it's a critical unit. Whenever you are given the opportunity to respond to any survey related, please do it as contributing to the growth of the center. Then issues they are very, very important and they are critical stakeholder. For those of you that maybe you are on the distance learning platform, it's not necessary to attend lectures. Please watch out and you have to respect your tutors. We have the IT staff and also support staff. So everybody as far as the center is concerned is a critical stakeholder because without one, a fight will be created and then do one where a lacuna is okay. So but for students' behavior, as far as the is concerned, your certificate will be their character and learning. Yes. You can be excellent as far as academic is concerned, but once you are lacking in character, the university can deny your certificate. Particularly instances whereby tutors or students to certain exams, the content that you feel you're highly placed, when you are a JD, you'll be shocked at lecturers or legislators. Your right stops where almost right stands where so please, irrespective of whether you are as far as a student, a student, and all rules and regulations governing studentship in the university are applicable to you. So please, you need to earn your degree in character. Please, once you have found one thing, I'm repeating it, you can be denied a certificate, no matter how excellent you are. So please, it's not it's a kind of a social thing, a phenomenon. So let's also look at an overview of the system, particularly our academic calendar. Academic calendar is developed manually and is managed by the center. And then it is presented to them after due approval by different bodies. Yes, and it is consistent. So we running 3 semesters as far as academic calendar is concerned. We have January semester, we have May semester, we have September semester. The January semester starts in January, and the examination are written in May. Then the May semester starts May, June, and then by September, we write the examination, and then September semester starts by that September, June, and the examination are written in January. And so it is consistent. However, for the purpose of flexibility, students may not be compelled to enroll every semester, particularly the third semester. However, you are encouraged to do that so that you can fast track your program. But if there is any arrangement as far as the semester is concerned, the center will get back to you. But this is what we are mentioning at the moment. Then our calendar to implement is comprehensive of following activities. We have registration phase. The secretary has spoken about it and moving to website. And this registration is for both the other ways. The registration is participated. It's not sessional. But some students reach out after paying school fees for the first semester. When for their second semester, they were wondering why they were asked to pay school fees. They were thinking that after paying school fees for the first semester, that is all like you run to registration. No, it's a semester program. So we are expected to register at the beginning of every semester. And then it will be followed by 30 minutes of lectures and 1 week of optional tutorial or face-to-face engagement. So I want to use this opportunity to emphasize this point that you are free to contact the program coordinator to organize the face-to-face lectures for you, particularly programs like computer science or competitive programs whereby the online engagement may not be sufficient, really not sufficient until the program an arrangement will be made. Those that are close by can attend physically. Then arrangement is always made for virtual attendance, and it is also between us and it is synchronous, where the learning is being achieved. So it is very, very important. So please, for today, just know that you have that option. But as it is, students don't usually explore this option. So it's not a 4%, it's a part of the student. Then after the 1 week, face-to-face tutorial, follow a 2 weeks examination. So that is how the calendar is being maintained. And one thing that is also going to notice the extent of the courses to register. Also, we have the core course. And when you talk of a core course, it means it is mandatory and you must study it if you can pass it. In other words, if you fail a core course, you will carry it over. Yes, as for example, let's talk of telephone. Some of you just a credit unit. But that one credit unit can prevent you from graduating because it's a core course. It means you must study and then you pass it. So, and then you cannot graduate just as I mentioned without passing a core course. Added to it is one of our compare courses. These compare courses, they are compulsory courses taken from other departments of your interest. And they can expand your knowledge in that particular field of discipline that you're undertaking. And then it tries to develop skills. That is very, very important. But what's also very important about compare courses is that they maintain the same status with core courses. You must also pass them when you graduate. If you fail the company course, you are expected to take it and pass it. Then elective courses. Elective courses are courses that you take outside your core curriculum. That is, it can be outside your department or within the department, and they are optional. However, you selected in order to broaden your knowledge and expand your interest. And then when you fill the purpose, you are not mandated to carry up again if you so wish. But what is very, very important is the fact that before you graduate, I'm going to be talking more about it later. You need a section requirement, that is the required number of credit units. So beside the fact that the elective help to expand your knowledge, it also adds to the credit unit you need to graduate. So it's very, very important. However, it is also important to take it serious because if you take the elective affects going to affect your CGP. That is very, very important. So please we take internship with all seriousness. And then the number of elective and register in a particular semester, it depends on the number of credit units expected to take. First of all, the key interest is that take your core courses first. If sometimes you take core courses, then you can register your elective courses, and it depends on the requirements. Maybe the maximum courses you can register semester is what 24 credit units. Except if you are graduating and only in final semester, it can be extended to 26 or to 24, and you're expected to register 12 credit units. Except again, if you are a graduating student, you register even more credit units. Because recently, we've received a lot of calls from students complaining that they are unable to register certain courses because of low credit unit. Please, that should not deter you. All you need to do is to reach out to the portal manager through the support. The portal will configure for you to be able to register those credit unit. So you are highly advised to always speak the council of advice to the when registering courses because they are going to guide you. And the system, the center has taken to make sure that they enable the courses we're going to register every semester during the elective. So if in case you have any challenge, make sure that you reach out. Yeah, and for your evaluation, there are two forms of evaluation we do here. We have the formative assessment, and then formative assessment, the other one for it is continuous assessment, and that is to monitor your progress and to identify areas of improvement. And here you are expected to carry out your individual assignment, your quizzes and the rest. And then for the summative assessment, that's the end of the semester examination, and it's expected to evaluate your learning and to also measure achievement and the outcomes that taken as far as learning is concerned. So the formative assessment, this is a category. We have credible for 5 marks, then we do assignment 5 marks, then we do assignment 5 marks and quizzes with 5 marks. Please, we always encourage students to alert the center about the program coordinators, a lecturer or tutors that they follow this on the platform. Because others have instances whereby a tutor will choose to give just for discussion. He or she will not give the other components. Please make clear that it's within your right that tutors comply with this component. Please always reach out in case any tutor fails you. And then at the end of the exam, that is the subjective, you're expected to write an examination that will be graded 60 marks. So for the GES courses, we write on this exams, we grade this and as it is now, it's also so you must not necessarily go to the center to write it, or you to be taken concurrently at the date of that examination, or not at the examination venue, and it is also systematic. In other words, the formative assessment will follow the pattern of the other courses. Therefore, your grade point, that's the calculation of the classification of degree. Yes, and this is actually presented to encourage you. Yes, once you are performing at the grade point of 4.5 to 5.0, you are a first class student. And we are hoping that that is where you will be. That is your work hard and try to maintain academic excellence. And then if you are operating from 3.5, to 4.9, you are on second class upper. And then from 2.40 to 3.39, you are second class lower. and from 1.50 to 2.39 third class. Please, I don't pray that all of us, yes, sir. Yes, sir, 3.49. Thank you, sir. That's a degree. Then from 1.0 to 1.49 is a pass degree. And I don't expect anybody to fall in this category. In fact, from third class downward, we don't expect anybody to fall in this category. And then if you are 1.00, that is a failure. Automatically would have been the withdrawal even before this stage. That's very, very important. And then we have other forms of activities in the center. We have industrial training, we have teaching practice, we have laboratory practicals and practicum. Depending on the program, we also have field trip. For example, those in computer science were expected to do an industrial training at your 300 level. And then for those in PGDE and even nursing, they're expected to do a teaching practice. And then laboratory practicals for nursing, practicum for masters in public health, and then field trip for students of international studies and political science. I forgot to mention MassCom. MassCom do industrial training, so they do SciWest, so it is very, very important. So you are advised to undertake that particular activity as at when due. Yes, when other students are doing it, you are expected to do it alongside with them so that you avoid the challenge of being left behind and then you start following up on when to do it or what. Please, it is very, very important. It can also affect your graduation as well. Then for final year student also, you are expected to write a project. Yes, before you graduate, you're expected to write a project, and the credit unit for the project differs. It ranges from 2 to 6 credit units, depending on the program. And at the end, or before you start the project, you are going to be allocated a supervisor. In fact, we'll be receiving calls from students that they are yet to allocate supervisors. Please be patient. We are just starting the semester. It is after registration, because registration is still ongoing. Well, it's going to be elapsing by Sunday. That is now the list of students that register for project will be extracted, and then program coordinators will now allocate the supervisors. In fact, some students have complained to the director, and then they are saying that they are yet. In fact, I have personally received complaints. So please be patient. By the grace of God, by next week or in 2 weeks' time, you all have your supervisor. So you'll be allocated supervisor, both for the postgraduate and you are expected to write your project. And then the project, the submission will depend on certification by the supervisor until he or she satisfied that yes, you are proficient, or you've actually carried out or you've met the required standard. That is when you can graduate. And then for undergraduate students, you are expected to submit e-copy as well as a hardbound copy. The center is still working on the modality for submission, but we are working very hard. By the grace of God, we'll let you know on the modalities, but as it is now, we are expected to submit both the soft copy and the hard copy. So it means that if you are not close by, you may have to find a way, or you liaise with your supervisor. And please feel free to ask them for their e-signature, particularly for those that are not close by. Because when you bring a project that is not duly signed by the supervisor, we are not going to sign to as program coordinators, because he's the first person to certify that, yes, you are true with your project. So please, students don't make that mistake. So please, going forward, you don't make that mistake. And then we also have, as part of the flexibility, we also have provision for deferment. However, we have 2 basic categories of deferment. We have semester deferment and course deferment. Semester deferment is a situation whereby a student is allowed to defer the entire semester after registration. For example, if you are having challenges continuing with your studies after registration, or alongside when you've started lectures, you can defer your semester. And the deferment means that you're going to pay for the deferment, you're going to pay a fee of 20,000, but subsequently, you're not going to pay for the courses again. Yes, you're just going to be reallocated tutors to be taught. So please take note that the fee for the deferment is irrespective of the number of courses. If you are deferring a course, it's the same amount. If you are deferring 10 courses, it's the same amount. So please, you take note of that. And we also have course deferment. Course deferment also provides a flexibility for students whereby after registering your courses and you discover that you cannot continue due to credit load, you can choose to defer or to drop some courses. Yes, you're going to pay for the deferment too, but then when you are done for that semester, subsequently you'll be allocated the courses and then it means you're not going to pay for them. So sometimes some students do miss exams intentionally and may want to also defer the courses that they missed exams. Please, we do not encourage that. Yes, in as much as you've registered courses and you are going for exam, make sure that you meet up, yes, with your exam so that you don't have to waste your time, waste your resources, deferring courses. Yes, this is actually provided for the purpose of flexibility. It is not to encourage laziness or to undermine the center. Then for tutorials, just as I mentioned, we have a 1 week face-to-face tutorial, and it is being done here in Zaria. And then we encourage students to take advantage of that, just as I explained, including their virtual transmission. And then for examination, for a student to qualify to sit for examination, we are expected to have 75% attendance. Yes, we've been having challenge where students like reporting that tutors do not organize lectures, but tutors are also complaining that when they organize lectures, students don't attend. Please, we know how we operate at a distance learning, yes, but we don't just want to emphasize that, but please, in as much as you want to be taught, always make sure that you avail yourself, and you need this 75% attendance. And that is why we've advised tutors that lectures should be taught evenings and then weekends. Please, if a tutor is fixing lectures for you within working hours, please complain to your program coordinator or to the quality assurance unit. Yes, we discourage lectures being fixed within working hours. We recognize the fact that most of our students are working class, and then we try to accommodate that. And please permit me to explain here again that we don't have a timetable just like the on-campus program, because it's a distance learning platform. If we have a timetable, it means the flexibility will be undermined, or in fact, we're not going to be flexible. It means that you'll be compelled to attend lectures at a particular fixed time. But then we try to advise tutors to make sure that they carry students along. For example, if you fix a class and then another tutor has fixed a class within that time, you can liaise with the student to shift the timing. Yes, I know that that is where we always have challenge, where a student may not agree on the timing, but please, you try to have a class representative that always liaise with the tutor on how timing can be arranged to carry people along. Because we are emphasizing on this 75% attendance, it is very, very important. So please, you make sure that you do that. And then I will also add here that ensure that tutors carry out lectures on the LMS, because it is from the LMS that will count the attendance. I will also verify if the tutor is actually teaching. Some of you do encourage tutors to use alternative sources. Yes, it is allowed, but then that is when the LMS cannot be used completely. A little challenge student will just say, let's send you a link, and they will create a link and send to the tutor. It means that your attendance will not be counted as well as that of the tutors too. So it is very, very important. And for examination timetable, we have an exam timetable that is signed by the center. And then you are also expected to print your exam slip before the commencement of examination. In fact, the pattern has changed. Now, before, it used to be like a month before exam. That is when exam slips are being printed. But now, we start early, and that is to enable us to plan for the exams. Last semester, we encountered a series of challenges where students had to be begging for extension of period. Please, the management is emphasizing the fact that once exam slip portal is closed, there will not be extension. Please, I'm taking this time to explain for all of us here, especially the online attendants. Please, anytime the printing of exam slip commences, please make sure that you do it within that stipulated time. Because without the exam slip, you cannot be allowed into the exam hall. And then for examination venue, we always distribute the exam venue like days before exam. So please, once the venue are allocated, and then I make sure I check it, because the reason why we don't come out with the venue, or the venues are not released on time, because we have to look at the capacity of every center and the number of students or programs that have been allocated to that center. And that is why sometimes it is always released late. So in quote, it's not actually late, but for you, you may think it is late. That's what I'm taking here. Then, as far as exam concerned, students are expected to be very conscious about timing of the commencement exam. There are several instances where students do go late for exams, and sometimes they will complain traffic, or they experience or they encounter some challenges. Please, if you know that where you're living, you may encounter any form of traffic, please make sure that you leave very early. We have the time that you're expected to be seated for exams. And normally it's supposed to be 30 minutes before exams. But because of flexibility, we do allow 30 minutes or 45 minutes late. So please, once you are 45 minutes into the exam time, just know that you've missed that exam. Don't even bother going to the venue to disturb the examiner, please, because some of you will go and want to be pleading that you should be allowed into the exam hall. That is not allowed, please. And then you make sure that you follow that. And because, number one, of course, the consequences that you'll be denied entry and it will reduce your time, even if you still go within the 30 minutes late or 45 minutes. Just imagine someone that has written the exams for 45 minutes and you are going 45 minutes late. It means that you may not have time to express yourself. If you're a serious student, we know that some people will just go there to play, but if you're a serious student, you need, in fact, you may even be asking for extra time to finish your exam. So it's good to go on time and it will reduce stress and anxiety. And then all this instruction that you may not follow, sometimes when students are invited for area, they say, I rushed into the exams and I forgot my jottings. I enter with my phone because I was in a haste. And see, all these, ignorance is not an excuse for the sisters of God. All these things you'll be saying, the center is immaterial to the center or to the every committee. So please make sure that you go to exams venue on time. And once you are asked to queue up for exams, make sure that you enter the exams immediately. Some people will intentionally delay because they want to sit with their friends and what have you. Please make sure that you avoid that to avoid any form of being in charge of examination misconduct. Then the most important aspect of this presentation is this aspect of exam misconduct. And we strongly advise students to abide by the rules and regulations. Please, if you check your exam slip, the basic rules and regulations for exams are there. And before you print your exam slip, you have to tick, you have to agree. For those of you that will always give third parties to handle the printing of your exam slip and the rest, please, I'm begging you, from this orientation, especially for the new student, make sure that you print it for the first time yourself. And make sure that you read those rules and regulations diligently before printing it, because that will guide you. Just as I mentioned, some of you will claim ignorance of the exam rules and regulations, but it's immaterial once you are found wanting. So please, do not introduce phones, cheat notes, wristwatch, smart glasses, USB, and the rest. In fact, we'll have what we call magic pen. For those of you that are just coming on board, we are also aware of the magic pen. Yes, you write and then you use one light to flash it, because even if you hold a plain paper, you don't see anything. But when they flash one light, you see everything. In fact, we also have the magic pen to prove you wrong. So please, I'm just advising any way, any means you are devising to cheat, we are steps ahead, please. And we are pleading. We are not here to victimize or to catch students as far as exam is concerned, is to prevent. And this presentation, this discussion, this orientation is one of the preventive measures, please. Yes. Please, if you are thinking that you are a distant learning student and it gives you the leverage or the liberty to get yourself indulged in some funny or a corny way of passing the exam, please, from this orientation, just disabuse that from your mind. Please erase it completely and make sure that you study hard. In fact, it is better you fail than get yourself involved in the exam misconduct, because the consequences are enormous. I'm telling you, it can lead to expulsion. But before expulsion, even, you can't imagine, for example, an elder getting himself indulged in exam malpractice and they have to travel from Lagos or Port Harcourt to come and face Eric. Why will you be telling your children or your wife that you're going to? Have you just imagine you are a father, you have children, and your children are coming up. So what will you tell them if you are indulged or if you are engaged in exam malpractice? Automatically, it means you are building a kind of a bad generation. So it affects your reputation. We don't like a situation whereby parents will come here, spend days, and to be listened to as a committee, or where you spend resources. Some people will even travel without informing their spouses or their children because of what they are ashamed of what they are coming to do. Why don't you just avoid it? Seriously, it's painful. It's painful. Look at the inconveniences. Look at insecurity. Those of them that are not in Zaria, please, those online, listen to me very well. You always listen to news and you say Boko Haram bandit. If you are coming, if you don't want to be kidnapped, don't even get yourself involved in exam malpractice, please. Yes. So please, we are pleading. Seriously, the issue of exam malpractice is actually affecting DLC reputation. Last exams, we get letters from some students that raise concern. In fact, students are the ones even complaining at the rate of exam malpractice. But if you are not willing to cooperate, we are also ready to catch. But please, our intention is not to catch. So please, and it damages your academic integrity. It can deny you future opportunities. For example, depending on the severity or the level of misconduct, you can be expelled, you can be restricted, and whatever. Please just avoid any form of trouble. And that's why you need to come to exams when on time. Make sure that you are relaxed before the exams. So please, you can, and worst part is that you can get away with this thing 100, 200 level. We've had instances whereby some people, their last paper, that is when they were gone. Come on. That's a way of catching up with you. So please, we are begging, we are pleading. We don't want you to come here and be crying. Thank you very much. And as part of the flexibility of the exams, we have you can choose to write your exams weekend or weekdays. So you choose, because once the timetable is released, you will select on when you write your exams for the sake of convenience. So if you choose weekend, it means you're going to write your exam weekends. And if you choose weekdays, you write weekdays. And the timetable is structured in such a way that exams that are written on Friday morning, for example, they are being repeated on Saturday in the evening between 3 and 6. And then exams written on Saturday and Sunday are repeated on Monday and Tuesday. So, for example, if you miss your exam on Saturday, you have the opportunity of writing it on Monday. And if you miss on Sunday, despite the schedule, irrespective of schedule, you still have the liberty to do that. You can write it on Tuesday. But please, you have to check your timetable. There are instances whereby some few courses are changed. They may not follow this pattern I'm explaining. So please make sure that you change your timetable before, you check your timetable before switching. And then if you miss that of the last option, it means it's an automatic carryover. Don't fear going to the center to go and be asking if you can be given an opportunity. And then the ones written on Wednesday and Thursday are repeated the second weekend. And then that of Friday as well. But please, examination written on Friday evening are not repeated. They are for both groups. Once you miss that one, it's an automatic carryover. And then you are free to change your exam venue. That is within the country. For example, if you fix your exams and you're expected to write in Lagos and you have an official appointment in Abuja, you can still go explain to the invigilator, present your exam slip, and then you'll be allowed to write your exam. So it's part of the flexibility. You are not restricted. Then for those students in diaspora, yes, the exam time is being conducted via a proctor portal. Yes, you don't have to go to any venue to write exams. And before that exams, registration are being conducted, and then a demonstration or a demo video is being sent, and you'll be guided on how to go about the examination. However, we'll find instances whereby students within the country will want to beat the system by registering for the diaspora exam. You cannot even do it because it will be detected, and then it will be a futile effort. So please, once you are outside the country, even if it is Niger Republic, you write your exam via proctor. You don't need to go to any center. So, but just make sure that you abide by the rules and regulations. And starting from last semester, our examination or the booklet are color-coded. Please make sure that we don't know whether the colors will be changed every semester, but as it is now, we have a standard color. So please make sure that when you go for exams, ask the invigilator or introduce yourself, tell them of the program. Already the announcement will be made. In case you miss the announcement, ask them of the required color you are expected to write your exam. Because if you use a different color, automatically you are not going to even package it. It will be quarantined, and that is all for you. So please make sure that then the benefit of flexibility to increase accessibility, reduce stress, improve performance, and better time management, and also increase inclusivity. So with this flexibility, you don't have an excuse to miss exams or for anything. If you don't have time during weekdays, you can write during weekends. If you don't have time weekends, you can write during weekdays. So the center has tried its best to make sure that everybody is accommodated as far as the distance learning is concerned. So for us or with us, learning is a pleasure, not an ordeal. Please, you have all the opportunity. A grant has been provided for you to enjoy learning. Please, but in case you have any challenge, you can always reach out to us. Thank you very much for your time, and thank you for listening.
Thank you very much, Dr. Maichiji. I was about to come and give you a reminder. Yeah, thank you very much for that presentation. It was well enlightened. I would like to acknowledge the presence of the Deputy Director and Admin, of the Distance Learning Center ABU Zaria is in person of Dr. Ibrahim Atiku. Please let's give a round of applause to him. I would like to call on the portal manager to give us the presentation on course registration and LMS. Mala Ibrahim, Mr. Ibrahim, you're welcome to the podium, please.
It's not fun. Atura mishule. Na kida kei kwa na slide. Shina ni slide. Na sasa safari kuna mtu ina chini. Ni Bisa kita
Please, while waiting for the portal manager's presentation, if you have any question regarding the previous presentation, just please note it down, okay? Immediately after his presentation, we're going to take a Q&A session, and it's going to be very interactive. Filter.
Good morning, the director, the deputy directors, DLC secretary, the finance officer, the deans, program coordinators, staffs, and students. Good morning. I'm Otukoya Ibrahim, the DLC portal manager. So I'll be presenting on the DLC portals. So the first slide is responsibilities of the portal manager in the center. The managing of center portals, allocation of tutors to students at the beginning of every semester, then attending to students' challenges on any of these portals. In DLC, we have several portals. We have the application portal, the registration portal, the learning management system portal, we have the exam slip portal, and we have the exam logic and the result checker. So for the first one, for new students, that's the application portal. That's the portal you visited while you are trying to apply, where you paid the sum of 10,300, isn't it? So from there, the system screened you to confirm whether you are eligible for the program or not. So after the system screening, maybe after 24 hours or 48 hours, you receive an admission notification. From there, it will now direct you on the next step to come for screening. And during this screening, you came with your original credentials, because some of you might apply from the portal, maybe thinking you are eligible for 300 level or 200 level, but when you've come for physical screening, they will now move it back to 100 level. So the function of that screening is for we to know the proper place of placing you. So during the screening process, after you've been configured, you normally receive some credentials. That's the username and password. I guess all of you have username and password here. So after your screening, they will configure you. You will now receive an email. That's your username and your password. Some of you change the password, while some still leave it as the default. So advisably, the default password is what? Who knows the default password here? The one that was first sent to you after the configuration. Password 1. So how many of you are still on password 1? Why? You just want it to remain like that, or you don't know how to change it? Huh? Okay. You will see the steps here. So it is advisable for you to change your password so that people will not be intruding into your portal. You understand? Because if somebody should have access to your registration number, automatically he can have access to your portal. So the registration portal, we have activities that we do on it. How to log in, how to change password, how to edit your profile, and you do course registration. Most of you that you just started this semester, some of you, maybe it's even the screening officer that assisted you in paying, isn't it? But henceforth, you don't need to come back. Maybe next semester you want to pay. You can just be at home and do your payments. You don't need to come to any screening center again. So that's the essence of displaying this for you. So now, let's see how to log into the registration portal. If you type your reg.abudlc.edu.ng, it will lead you to this page. You all know this page. You've seen it before. So this is the interface of what? Our registration portal. So from here, it will request you to enter your user ID. The user ID is a combination of what? Your names. It combines your name. Maybe if your name is Musa Lawal, so username will be Lawal Musa. It will merge it together in lowercase. Then the password is, the default password is password 1. So when you enter this, it will lead you to the next page. So on this page, you can do a lot of things here. You can change your password from this page. You can edit your profile. You can pay your school fees. You know, course registration and the school fees is tied together. As you are selecting the course, it's forming the money and the amount you will pay. So now let's see how to change password. After the go to class, are you seeing go to class there? That red go to class, this thing as a block it. From after it will see change password there. Immediately after this go to class. You understand? Immediately after it will see change password. So once you click on the change password, it will bring you to this place. So for those of you that have not changed your password, please just get this, go and change your password. Because we have scammers that can be entering your page anyhow. So you have to be very careful. So this is the password reset page. The first column, you see enter old password. What is the old password? Password 1. You type it, password 1. Lowercase password 1 figure join together. Then the next one is what? Enter new password. What is the new password? Huh? So you don't need to pronounce that one. It's the one you want to change to. Then the third one, it says enter confirm new password. It wants to confirm whether the one you enter is still the same. So if there is conflict, it will not change. So for the person that said it is having difficulty, maybe that's what you are doing. Maybe what to type in new password and the confirmation is different. So you have to be very careful. And this password, there are rules for the password. You can't just come and type anything. It will not accept it. Do you understand? So the first rule is what? Case sensitive. What is case sensitive? So it's either it is in uppercase or lowercase. So if you enter your password in lowercase, if you are trying to enter it, it must still be in what? Lowercase. Then the second one is what? It must be alphanumeric. What is alphanumeric? Good. You're all digital. So it must combine numbers and words. Who can give me an example of alphanumeric? Yes. Okay, yes. Just make sure you combine. You can write your name and put 1, 2, 3, 4 in front. Then the next one, the character size must be minimum of what? So if you are trying to create this password and you enter 7, it will not accept it. So the minimum is what? Can I use 9?
Yes.
Huh?
Yes.
Why? You know they say minimum. So meaning you can't use less than, but you can use 8 and good. You are following. So that's all. That's how to change your password. Now the next is editing of profile. Editing of profile. There are some profiles you can edit, and there are some you can't edit. For example, after your screening, you see your names, your surname, first name, middle name, your date of birth, your passport. You see all those things, you can't edit it on your own. But you have your address, you can change your state. You understand? You can change your local government. But your first name, middle name, surname, your passport, Even your email, you can't change it on your own. Because if you allow access, if you give access for this, we have a lot of impersonation during the exam. You know, on your exam slip, it will come and fetch the information here. That's what you see on your exam slip. So the passport you upload here, that's the passport you see on your exam slip, on your certificates. Are you following? Huh? Good. So that is the reason why we don't give access for change of passport. So for example, maybe if you make a mistake in uploading wrong passport, you need to talk to the admin. And you can't just talk to admin because there is a scenario of a student, he registered with somebody's passport, thinking they've already planned that every semester that person will be writing exam for him. So after this orientation, I will not call the person's name. Maybe the person is online, so I won't call him. I will not call him. So after the orientation, he now came to me. He said he made a mistake. I said, which mistake? He said he put somebody's passport. I said, why? I mean, I know how to ask questions very well. Why? And he said, he's just beating. And I said, see, it is even better for you. It's better we change it now. Do you know the reason why I changed it for him? Because he has never written any exam. Had it been he has written exam, will not change it. So that guy now, the certificate will bear his name, the passport will bear somebody's passport. Yes. So you see, it is invalid. So please, the same thing now. Let's have a contract. You are new too. If you know you've uploaded somebody's passport to sit for exam for you, you can still meet later. You can change it. And for those online, at the end of the presentation, you will see our email. You can send mail. We will change it. But also, there are some that maybe mistakenly they uploaded tree or family picture. You understand? There are some that they want to pick a picture, they now pick the wrong one. So in that case, there are things we need to ask you. You bring your driver's like NIN, you know all those things banks to ask. You too, we are banking, we ask you. Just to verify. So if you have any issue with your name again, maybe after the presentation, you now notice your surname and first name is swapped. Please complain now so that we'll change it for you. Not that until when results comes out or your certificate, you now start complaining, my name is 2 and it's supposed to be 3. My name is 3, it's supposed like that. Do you understand? So go and check your portal after this. Just check your name arrangements, date of birth too, and your state of origin. Because they are very valid while presenting results in Senate. You see somebody, the date of birth is 1970 and it's in 100 level. So please go and confirm, then you get back to us so that we change it. So the next is course registration. You've all paid, that's why you are sitting here, isn't it? Or is there anybody that have not paid registered course here? You've all paid. So next semester, you don't need to go to any screening office or any center to pay again. You can be at home and do your payments. So how do you do that? After you log in, you go to transaction, you click on fees, it will now list your courses. At the beginning of every semester, we normally send the courses you have to register, just to guide you. And there are some students that are fond of, they want to pick Gens 301, they will go and pick Gens 103. And you know, this course is tied with money. So when they now make that mistake, they will now go and deregister. Deregistering means you've deregistered your 10,000 or 20,000. You did not complain to anybody. So after everything, they will now start calling you. I mistakenly registered Gens 301 instead of Gens 103. What are you thinking when you are registering? That's it. You see, we are trying to move forward, we'll be bringing us back. So it seems, maybe I will advise the management that anybody that makes that mistake must pay again. You know, maybe there's penalty. You see somebody will register first semester course in second semester again. The courses you give first semester, you now repeat it again second semester. So this shows that maybe you are not even in control of your LMS. Maybe somebody that is operating it for you. So anybody that make this type of mistake, you're on your own. We are saying it publicly now because you have the list of courses to register. At least before you click on pay, confirm, just check again. Nobody is rushing. Are you competing with somebody? Maybe I want to quickly register. So please, let's be very careful. So after you select the course, you scroll down. If you are registering like 5 courses for undergraduates, it's 10,000 per course. So that 5 courses, how much? 50. So automatically, in every semester you pay exam fee. You pay exam fee. So the exam fee is automatic. You see it when you just log in. You see 20,000 outstanding. It means they've already selected the 20,000 for you. So now, if you now click your 5 courses, the money will now be what? 70. You now click on pay fees. There are some times that you see extra 6,000 because some student would call and say, I want to pay. I'm seeing 26,000. At the beginning of every session, you pay miscellaneous fee. You understand? So after every 3 semesters, you need to pay miscellaneous fee. The first miscellaneous fee you pay is 8,500. Then the second one subsequent is 6,000. So anytime you see 26,000 when you want to pay, it means the 20,000 is for what? Exam. Then the 6,000 is for miscellaneous. So please don't call and start asking questions again. So after you click on pay fees, it will now bring you to the payment gateway. This is the payment gateway. So in this place, you also need to be very careful. We have different types of method of payments. We have the card, transfer, bank, USSD, or pay. And these methods, each method comes with its own specific charges. You see that card? Card charges based on the amount you want to pay. You understand? And if you are paying 200,000 and I'm paying 100,000, my charges can be 400. Somebody paying 200, it can be like 900. But we have a saver way for you. You see that transfer? That one is uniform. If you are paying 1 million, it will be 1,300,000. If you are paying 50,000, it will be 50,300. So you can use transfer. That's why the charges is flat. Because some student will say, you told me I will pay 70,000. Why am I saying? You can say one less. This student want to pay 90. But at the end of the day, the bank charges is what? 500 and what? You understand? But if it is on transfer, you see it's 90,000 what? So that's 400 now. We can buy something with it. Yes, sir. And buy my take it to at least. So from the page of the transfer, once you key in your ATM card and everything, it will now link you to this place where it will request for you to enter OTP. It will send a code to your phone, the number used in registering the account. Nobody has access to that number, it is you. So you have to be very careful. Sometimes these scammers, they will tell you that your date of birth have issue in bank, that they will send something to you now, send it back. Don't do that. It's your OTP. If you, the moment you send that OTP back, you understand? So you have to be very careful. So after the OTP, you click on it, you go. So this is another method. This one I'm using what? Transfer. What did you see there? 90,000 what? You understand? So that, and the transfer is very easy. It's even faster than the process is faster than that of card. Not even the charges. It's very fast. So you can use any of the method to make your payments. So after the payments, immediately after you pay, don't just leave the system. Go back to your course registration. go to your dashboard, confirm whether the courses you paid for is there. Because there are instances that you make a payment, they will deduct your money, but the cost will not reflect on your dashboard. You won't know until when after allocation, you do not say, you not start complaining. I don't have tutor. If you now say, why? If they check your page, the courses are not there. So anytime you make any payments, don't just go. Go back to the dashboard and confirm those courses you registered. Are they there or not? So sometimes you receive this type of error when you want to pay. If you see this type of error, if you want to pay, don't be sure. Maybe you've used several tax. You use GT, it didn't work. You change it to another UBA. You use DNet. So they will just suspend the account temporarily. So if you see this type of error message, it means you've used several cards, not option. That's payment and card option. You use different cards. So the thing maybe is scam. So the pay card will just close your page for 24 hours. So you can't use it again until after 24 hours. Now, you know, we just opened registration. It is closing tomorrow. If you now see this type of error tomorrow, what will happen? You know what? Which office? No, I will not pick your thought. 9 minutes. If you see this type of error, just say the next semester. Yes. After 24 hours, you now try to pay on Sunday by 4 till Monday 4 o'clock. So please, we know the way the country is. Since you know you are doing distance learning, just be planning against your payment for next semester. You understand? Not that after, you know, that 9 minutes again, traffic, everybody wants to pay. You now start seeing difference. You see somebody who call you by 2 in the night because of this type of. If I just say when it is on Sunday, let me be frank, on Sunday, when the registration is closed that day, offline. Because this type of error, I don't want to engage myself in it. So please, let's avoid paying at the late 9 minutes. So that's all about the registration portal. Any question? Yes.
Registered 6 courses. So when registering, when the first time I checked my dashboard, I saw 5 courses. When doing registration, I then see 6 courses. After I've registered, then I go back to the courses and the semesters, the session. Then I realized that one course from first semester, first session, session 1, is being dragged back to this semester. Yes, sir.
On page 1.
Yes. Advanced. So is it normal or?
It's not normal. You know, while doing the mapping, you made a mistake. You understand? That 821 is for when you are saying it, I know where that was the MPH. We made a mistake. We now include 821 for second semester. You understand? Did you register it?
Sir?
You paid for it?
Yes, I did.
And you paid for it before? You paid for it before now. This is your second semester now.
This is my registration semester. First semester, okay. I'm a student.
You are a new student.
Yes, sir.
So that 81 is for first semester. You know, some second semester students saw it. Those registering from 802, 804, they saw that 821 too. But you are supposed to register 6. Yes.
So the first time I saw 5 questions, 5 courses.
Courses. If you go back now, you see that 821. So you can quickly go and register it before
Yeah, registered it.
So she can.
Yeah, continue.
Yes, you continue. I thought you were in the second, because second semester student to saw it. Yes.
Okay, after registering, then I don't have any.
No, you don't have any issue. You are good to go. After this, you continue.
Remember that when somebody has already finished his and then went back to the dashboard, you go back to the dashboard and check whether it's
To confirm.
confirmed. And if you confirm that it's not there, what's the next move?
Complain
Immediately.
immediately. Do you know the reason of confirming? Not, sometimes if you go to ATM machine, it becomes they will deduct your money, but the money will not come out. So you go and confirm. You go and confirm. So let's continue. Let's continue. It's just two. Let's continue. So the second one is the learning management system. So after registering, this is your class. This is where you'll be interacting with your tutor. You understand? So the first thing is for you to register. If you do not register, you do not even have access to this place. So these are the activities on the learning management system. So if you click on abudlc.vigilantlms.com, it will lead us to this page. From there, you now use the same username and password. That same username and password. Use it here. It will now bring you to the main class. So on this learning management system, I'll just put it in summary. You will do your assignment on the page. Assignment. And this assignment is of two forms. We have the individual, we have the group. For individual assignments, you'll be the one in charge of the assignment. For group assignments, it is your team leader that will be in charge. You understand? You do your quiz on the learning management system. You do your gradable forum. Your lecturer will interact with you on this place. So, and we have two methods of interaction. The lecturer can interact through forum or through the studio. Are you following? The forum is text-based. We ask questions, you respond, typing. But the studio, it's live. As he's lecturing, you'll be listening, you can ask questions and so on. So, what I'll just emphasize on here is on the assignments. On the assignments. Okay, before the assignments, immediately you log into this page. We'll send the this thing to you. Immediately you log in, you confirm your numbers of courses. You confirm numbers of courses that you registered. Like now, for these students, you registered 6 courses. You can see the next one is 6. The third one is what? That 6 there means these students already have 6 tutors. You already have your tutor. That 0 is a tutor grouping. It is the tutor that will use that one, maybe for group assignment. Because some students called yesterday that they don't have tutor. And also screenshot your page for me. And also that we've given them tutor. They are referring to that next one. I say it's for your tutor. It's your tutor that will use that for subgrouping, grouping for group assignments. So now, maybe if you notice there are some tutors that have not started interacting with you, you can get their contacts. So how do you get their contacts? If you click on the course, just follow the tabs there. Click on course, it will lead you to this place. Then you click on any title of the course. For example, this one is Board 817. If you click on it, it will just take you to where the tutor, where you will see the tutor's email, name, and phone number. Can you see it there? So you cannot pick your phone and call. But if you are calling, don't just say, sir, you've not. No. No. You understand? Don't do that. Good morning, sir. Sir, please, I was assigned to you. You are my tutor for this semester. Oh, yeah. Please, do you have any WhatsApp link and so on? Don't just for time. So we've been waiting for you since you do. No. You understand? So that's how to get your, the same way you get your tutor's contact, the tutors too have access to your own contacts. For those of you that don't like going to class. Yes. You know, if you report your tutor, tutor too will report. So now let's just move to the assignments. Because this is where, you know, after everything, they will need to assess you. Do you notice how many colors did you see there? Huh? The green and what? Red. That green means your assignment is still available. The red means what? It has expired. So don't allow your page to be like that. And you've not submit. Sometimes this tutor will give you 2 weeks to submit assignments. That 2 weeks is okay for you. But you'll be saying, no, let's leave it to tomorrow, until it expires. Then when it expires, you now start generating lights. You're something, did something, you start. And it seems they have template for this light. The one you use for 817, they will use it for 818. It's the same. And this student is same like that's what my father did this. Somebody's father has died. He says the last school. So please, let's avoid. I know some tutors. If your assignment is closed, they will not open it for you. You understand? Because they have their own rules. They said, do this, you must do it. Some they might say, okay, let me try to open. If you open for a student, when it's closed again, another person will call you. So please, let's avoid it. So to submit assignments, on each of the roles, you will see view. If you click on the view, you'll be able to see the question. Then you see where you submit. Just upload. And sometimes read instructions before submitting. You understand? Sometimes the tutor will say upload a PDF. It's an instruction. Upload in Microsoft Word. Sometimes they will not specify. So always read instructions before. So it's from there now you can upload your assignment. Then you now see it is successful. Make sure it is successful before you understand. So that's for assignment. Individual. The same way you submit individual assignments, the same way you submit group. You know, I guess for the individual, you are in charge of your thing. For the group, is what? Group leader. So if you're a group leader, please treat your members well. If your members cooperate with you, because sometimes the group leader, all the members will disappear. You will not be calling them, please submit your name. I want to submit assignment, they will not answer. That one will just go and submit. So when you submit, it did not include anybody's name. They not start calling the tutor. That this group leader just went to submit. And for group leader too, some of them, if they give up, I think they're giving them the power to rule the country. You call them, they say, see, don't disturb me, I'm very busy. Some you call them, they will not even respond. So if you notice you have a group leader that is not responding, what will you do? Just call your tutor. This leader is not, so the tutor will just remove and give to another person. But if you keep quiet, all of you will say that first. That's man, you miss the man. Because as some leader, they don't even send you. They will not even respond. So if you notice, you have a leader that can't even create ordinary WhatsApp group for you people to join to do the assignment, report. So now let's see quiz. Quiz. Quiz is in the form of objectives. You understand? It's in form of objectives on the system. You can see the page too. You can see red and green. The red means the quiz is no more available, while the green is still available. So if they give you this quiz, sometimes the tutor will give you one attempt, 2 attempts. This 1 attempt and 2, it has some background configuration. You have to be very careful. If they give you 2 attempts, sometimes the tutor will say pick the highest number, pick the latest, you understand, or pick the average score. Now, if you are giving quiz for like 30 marks, you now did the first one, you score 25. Is it not okay for you? Or some students will say, let me go again. So if you go again, you now score 10. You understand? And maybe the tutor now gave average. What will be your final score? It will now say 25 plus 10 divided by 2. That's 35 divided by 2. 17 point what? You will not be complaining. Who sent you? But you have your 25. It's okay now. But you want to score. So you have to be very careful. That's 2 attempts. Sometimes it's a setup. Don't do your 1 attempt. If you don't, the purpose of 2 attempts is maybe the first attempt you have network issue. Network issue, not that you did not score 30 over 30. Because sometimes the setup, it will be average. You just pick the average. And you've already scored 25. And then you are scoring 17. You'll not be sending mails up and down. So this for quiz. Yes. So the next one is grade book. So all these are the features on the LMS. Your grade book, this is where your CA is stored. Across. Any score the tutor grade, you see it here. You understand? Then we normally give tutors grade of maybe 2 weeks to exam or a week to exam to finish grading. If you notice you've submitted the assignment and it is close to exam, your tutor has not graded. Call the tutor. Just say, sir, you've not. No, they will grade it, but just remind them to always check this place. Don't come and start reporting after exam. Maybe the result is, they people release the result. You now start saying, my tutor did not grade forum assignment. Who will listen to you? When your student is still there, you do not complain. It's when you now notice you failed the course. You now start saying, my tutor did not grade quiz. And the quiz, tutor not grade quiz. As you finish, you see your score. It's the system that grade it. So please, always check the grade book too. So these are other LMS resources. The librarian will come and discuss on this. So we have another portal, the exam slip, deferment, and academic requests. So the red there that's the link. If you want to print your exam slip, that's the link for exam slip. We do send mail for maybe during the exam, when the exam portal is open, we send the mail and the link and everything. So with this link, you can print exam slip, you can do your deferments, and you can apply for your statement of results and other things. So this is the interface for the abudlc.edu.ng. Please, on this page, they say registration number, not your username now. You enter your registration number, you enter your state. So to link it to this, you see that first learner support. Maybe if you have issues while trying to generate your exam slip, you can just type it there. Then the next one is exam slip. You see the tabs. The next one is deferment. The next is academic requests. So for the exam slip, it will generate the numbers of courses you registered and bring it to this place. So on this place, you can select where you want to write exam and the time you want to write it. Not your own time, the time on the timetable. Because the student will tell you, me, I want to write this exam by 3. And that his own time is not there. So you have to be very careful while selecting. And don't finish selecting, you now go and start distracting the exam. You select Monday. You now say you want to write it on Saturday again. It's a form of distraction. Maybe 50 people select, 50 students select for that day. You now want to change. It will not be 51. Who will produce that your one booklet? So please, let's be very careful. And this exam, you can select it based on available states where we write exam. We have two forms of department. We have the course department and semester department. For the course department, maybe you register 12 courses. Now notice the courses are too much for you. You can reduce them by using course department. But if you register, you want to defer everything. You don't want to participate in that semester again. You use your semester department. And it is tied to payment. Do you understand? It is tied to payment. So anytime you defer, no more exam deferment that you say, no more keeping of CA. If you defer, you generate the deferment approval. So the semester you want to resume, just produce the approval so that we assign the courses back for you. You don't need to pay. You understand? You don't need to pay for those courses again. So now let's see the academic request. Maybe after your graduation, you want to apply for statement of results. You can do it on that same portal. You just go to academic request. You select the type of request you want. Is this statement? Is this student copy of transcript or international transcript? From there, you make your payment too. So the last year is results. Maybe after you finish your exam, you've done your CA, you've done your exam, you want to see the output. So we have a portal for it too. You understand? So you enter your username, but before then, read the instructions. Read the instruction. It says registration number and states. So once you enter this, it will now bring the section and the semester. Like if you start now from 100 level to 400 level, all your results will be available online. You can check it anytime. So it will display, you can see for these students, we have the 18, 19, 1920 and 2021. So anyone you want to check, you click, it will display the results for you. So as the result is being displayed, always take note of remark. This remark keep tracks of your failed courses and your outstanding courses. If you have a lot of failed courses in 100 level, please don't go and register 100 level. Make sure you clear your failed courses and your outstanding. You understand? So for those of you that might have issues, you need to put coordinators contact there. If you have program coordinators, we'll share all their contacts for you. You understand? It is not mostly all issues you call this line. There are some issues that is for program. You understand? We'll send it to you later. So just your first meeting point with your coordinator, but don't call them anyhow. So and these are our Facebook page link and Instagram. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Portal Manager, for that presentation. I would like to call on the librarian, is in person of Dr. Ibrahim Sadi, to give us this presentation. Yeah, Dr. Sadi, you have podium.
Please, a kind reminder for those of you joining online, we're going to take all your questions immediately after this presentation. Please just bear with us, okay?
For want of time, permit me to stand already established protocols. I'm to talk on the use of library information resources and services. So I've been registered and you become a bona fide student of the center. You're expected to put your things together and get prepared for the journey ahead. And that journey has to do with you excelling. In one of the presentations, it was mentioned that your main target is to graduate with first class. And I still want to maintain that position that is your target, to graduate with first class. And to do so, you have to put your things together and make the library your friend. So by way of commencing this presentation, I'm to quickly tell you about how the library support teaching, learning, and research, and how you students are encouraged to use both the physical and the digital resources. And of course, you are to also know about the available resources, services, and your access requirements. So I want to start by taking you through the library system. As ABU DLC, Distance Learning Center students, you have access to all the resources in the university, and in this case, the library resources. And that is why I've included, the types of libraries we have for you to have access to them. Actually, they are physical libraries. So students who are physically available in Zaria can have access to these libraries. And they are mentioned, as you can rightly see them on the screen. So very quickly, the digital resources. The digital resources. Of course, the e-library, which of course you can access, via your, what we call it, elements. It's made up of the following resources, and also by extension, other resources that you can access, through the e-library. The course materials, they are available in e-formats. You can access them, on the e-library. The e-library is also made up of e-books. These are recommended texts to guide you in your academic pursuit, and also e-journals to give you access to current information resources. So as students, when you are given assignment, or when you have to embark on a reading assignment or project writing, you're expected to use this recommended, resources. There's also past question papers that have been digitized and uploaded for you to use. For those of you who want to, have a practical, idea of how the questions, look like, you can have access to the past question paper on the e-library. And also through the e-library, which I shall, show you subsequently, you can have access to other academic databases. These databases are a collection of related, relevant information resources that are digitized and arranged in a logical format for you to access and use. They include journal articles, they include ebooks and other technical reports that you can use to better yourself as a student. There's also institutional repository, which you can access via the e-library of the center. This institutional repository is made up of, mostly local contents of lecturers and also students' theses and dissertation. They are very important, particularly when you're working on your chapter 2 and chapter 3, and also your chapter 1, eventually when you get to that point. You can also have access to audio and video learning materials. These we provide on request. The next categorization is the print resources. Just as I've mentioned by the second slide that I displayed, with respect to the libraries that are available in Ahmadu Bello University for you to have access to. In terms of print resources, we also have this course materials, in print form, You can access them here in the center or in any of the liaison, units or office in the country. However, you can only have access to available copies. So the center has, suspended the production of these print resources due to the high cost of production, and not all students can, afford that. There's also access to reference materials, encyclopedias, and handbooks, which you can access in those libraries that I displayed earlier on. There's also access to periodical publications such as journals and magazines, all for you. Special collections, particularly students who are, studying political science, international studies, will find these special collections that ranges from United Nations and other international bodies for their important use. So the key library services that are available for you. There's selective dissemination of information. This has to do with providing you with information that suits the program you're pursuing. This selective dissemination of information has to do with aggregation of mostly large volume of information. It will be simplified and sent to you in order to keep you abreast of some of the latest, studies or literature in your program of study. There's also current awareness, just to inform you about resources that are available, and to a certain extent about other information that have been released by the center that are, equally amplified through So it's not just about studying and graduating. It is about you respecting the intellectual, artistic creation of people. I'm talking about the books you cite, the journals you use to do your assignment, and so on and so forth. It's very important you understand how to use them, and there are software and practical ways you can cite people's work, ethically without violating their copyright. There's also user educational and instructional services. This is also provided based on request. Students who find themselves, using other library system in their locality will be taught on how to use, the library system to identify, locate, and retrieve information resources. Then there's also the referral services. Of course, as we all know, no library can boast of all the information resources, but there is a collaboration between, the central library and other sister libraries, where we can link you up with other libraries that can help you with resources that we cannot, provide you with. The requirement. The first requirement for you to be able to use particularly the physical resources and also the e-resources of the center. First, you have to have, done your valid registration. You must have registered. That is after you secured your provisional admission, you register. You'll be given a student identification card, or while you're waiting for that, you can use your admission letter. So that is for the requirements. So in terms of the facility, beyond the center library, you can have access to discussion rooms and study, group areas. For example, in Kashim Ibrahim Library, these facilities are provided for you to be able to get yourself together and study as a group, particularly when exam is approaching, and for those who will be writing the exam in various centers. There's also the Learning Common and the e-library access, which is equally, provided for you to have access to. The Learning Common provides you with all the basic technology at your disposal for you to be able to carry out your assignment, the internet, the computer system, the printer, and the photocopier for you to be able to, study. There is also the training room for library instructions. And also, in addition to that, the Central Library also provides, convenience area for you, and also restaurant for you to go and relax. So the opening hours, especially for the Kashim Ibrahim Library, for weekdays is between 8 a.m. and 10:30 p.m. So for those of you who find yourself in Zaria and during the exam period, you may want to quickly, take advantage of that, opportunity. And also the weekends is between 9 a.m. and 9 p.m. So you can contact, the library via this, addresses, the email. We also have a Telegram. There's also the phone number of all the staff in the in the library. And of course, the e-library of the center can be accessed via, this, URL. So in conclusion, You are encouraged to make full use of these resources, and you can also access, the library, starting with the KIL in this case, which is provided. That is the Kashim Ibrahim Library. And you can also access, the e-library via, the elements. I'm going to quickly take you through some pictures and access points after this conclusion, and the staff at your service. So the, a picture and access point. This is how the library looks like. You access the library via elibrary.abuglc.edu.ng. That is going to access it using your browser. And the moment you type in, the URL, it brings you to this format or to this, interface where you can search. You can see an arrow is pointing, e.g. Nelson is there. So you can search by course title, or you can search, by course code. Say, for example, you search by course code, in this case, 206. In this case, NOS 206, it brings you to this, platform where you have a picture or a cover page to NOS 206, and you have the read button. You can click, when you click the read button, you have the opportunity to read online or to download, the PDF version of this, course material. So this is how, and also you can access, the central library, that is the Kashim Ibrahim Library that I mentioned. You can also access it on the e-library by clicking on ABU main library. When you click on it, it takes you, straight to the Kashim Ibrahim, web page. So it brings you here. And when it brings you here, you're concerned about resources. When you click on resources, you're going to see a drop list. Then you can have access to, the databases that have been, arranged for you there. For example, we have the subscribed databases and the open access databases. So you can also access it on the LMS. On the LMS, that is your online classroom. The only thing you need to do is to click on resources, and you're going to see a drop list there, the e-library. And the good thing about it is that you only need one central login. Your username and password for your student portal, for your LMS, are the same username and password you need to use to access the e-library. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Dr. Salim, for that well-enlightened presentation. I would like to call on the dean
and the dean was to take the Q and A section. The dean and quality assurance officer to take the Q and A questions, quality assurance.
All right, thank you very much. As we said earlier, we're going to provide a session for the questions and answers, which is going to be very interactive. I will told you earlier that if you have any questions regarding the previous presentations, you can note it down. We're going to attend to all your questions, both online and those joining this. Joining online, some of you raise your hands here. I would quickly allow you to unmute yourself so that you can talk to us. Before you start talking to us, we have jotted down some questions from those who asked the chat box. And Chukwu Ebuka, I have asked you to unmute yourself here with us. Similarly, Uzolima Blessing, I asked you also to unmute yourself. You raised your hand earlier. You can unmute yourselves and talk to us. We're going to attend to your questions. Well, I hand over the microphone to Dr. Mariam, who is to answer some of the questions.
Thank you very much.
Good afternoon once again. I'm going to start. Okay, before the online participants respond by telling us their own questions, I'll start with the ones we presented while the presentations were ongoing. So the first question here is that someone asks if he or she can devise admission to the next semester. Risk assurance.
Thank you very much. Actually, a student cannot defer admission, can only defer semester or course as the case may be. That is to say, after you've been granted admission, you need to register first. It is after the registration, after you've selected your courses with payment, that is when you can do deferment. But if you've just been offered admission and want to defer it, how do you defer it? It's not possible. So you need to register first before you opt for deferment.
Okay. Okay. Thank you, Quality Assurance Officer. The next one has to do with clashes in lectures.
Well, I think I explained that when I was presenting on behalf of our Deputy Director of Academics. I said we don't have engagement and learning. Having a timetable would be like defeating the aim of distant learning. So lectures are fixed at evening and weekends. But if you have clash in your lecture, please talk to the lecturers involved, tell them that you have a clash. And if they insist, you can reach out to your program coordinator so that he will talk to the lecturer to see how all the two lecturers involved to adjust their timing. But one thing I always advise is students who have their class representatives, what they usually do is that they try to organize a timetable informally, and then they can fit in lecturers into a timing that have not been occupied by others. So please, class reps, try your best from 5, from 5, make sure that you schedule your lectures till around 9 or 10. And then when your lecture is clashing with another lecturer, you politely plead with any of them to shift the lectures. But in case they insist, please reach out to the program coordinator. He or she will find a way of reaching out to the lecturers, because we know that some people might not be patient enough to listen to you. But please note that we don't have a timetable per se.
Okay, thank you. Next question has to do with the way we do our facilitation, how we, offer lectures to you, whether it's online or, through chatting. I heard someone saying he would prefer us doing or having our lectures the way we do this orientation now. So yes, we do have that option on the LMS. There's a icon, or there's this option where we have what we call studio on the LMS. In that studio is where you can have a live class with your lecturers, all right? So lecturers are supposed to use that studio to have classes with you, all right? And also you're supposed to also augment it with using the discussion forum, all right? So that option is there on the LMS for you to have your classes live with your tutors. Another question has to do with whether there's a student ID card. Yes, we do issue ID cards to our students, all right? After you register for your courses, you have a form where you fill all your details for the ID card. It's been brought down to the center where we have student affairs officer who handles all such cases. And then once the ID cards have been printed or have been issued, we take the ones that are specific to examination centers or exam offices, distribute it for students who reside in those centers or areas. All right. And then someone asked whether it's a complaint actually. The student said this semester, all the lecturers for his courses fixed their classes for Saturday, 4 p.m. Please, we're sorry about that. We're going to talk to our lecturers, all right, to change that. It's not program specific. Please, we're going to talk to our lecturers or your tutors to change that, please. We're sorry about that. Then there's a question here. They said they want more clarification on the fast track semester.
Thank you very much. Just as I explained earlier, we have a 3-semester structure, the distance learning platform. However, the third semester, that is the September semester, is actually meant to be a fast track semester whereby you actually run on time. The way the distance learning was structured, you must not necessarily register for courses for that semester, but you want to have activity. But then, as it is now, just student
On to course, I registered all courses. I registered all my courses a few days ago, and then in my LSM, all the courses was showed registered, and all courses lecturer has been allocated to me. But a few days back now, which is I think 2 days ago, or yes, 2 days ago, I went back to my LSM and I found out that all my courses are zero. Simply means that I have not registered any course. That was what my LSM is showing me. It's just showing that I'm not registering. I have not registered any course yet. I don't know what the issue is. And classes are started. I've not been able to access class. I've not been able to access the library because of that. I don't know what is going on. Please.
Are you using your phone?
Yes, I'm
Hello?
using my phone.
Okay, do you have system?
No, I don't.
Okay. What you do, just try to clear your browser history. You understand? Clear the history of your browser, then you relog in again.
Okay, sir. Thank you so much, sir.
Mr. Taribo, please, Taribo, if you're with us, can you talk to us? You've unmuted yourself, so please.
Yes, good.
All right. Go ahead, please.
Good afternoon, everybody. Good afternoon, everybody.
Yes, go ahead, please.
To the dean and all our special professors, good afternoon. Okay, so I was opportune to register yesterday, and after the registration, from what I can see, all my courses dropped down, and I can actually see 8 registered courses. But on the course grouping, I can't see any lecturers allocated or anything of such. I can't seem to see that, because I know you said once you've registered, you'll be able to see your courses on the dashboard. You'll be able to see your courses on the dashboard.
Yes, okay.
And
All right. Taribo.
Yes.
Taribo, you said you registered
Yes,
yesterday.
I can.
Okay,
Yes,
just please, yeah, you will be allocated to talk. Okay.
Okay. Thank you
But
very
in
much.
our presentation, I don't think the portal manager said immediately after registration you'll be allocated to. I don't think that was captured. But you will be allocated to talk. All right. Thank you very much.
Yes.
Okay, so sorry. Hello.
Okay, is it Chukwuebuka, right?
Yes, sir.
Please speak to us. Talk to us.
So I have 2 questions.
Go ahead.
Number one question is, how many semesters are there? Because we can hear from some people telling us that it is actually 5 semesters. Some are saying it's 4. So we are a bit confused. We don't know how many semesters in total, right, for the MBA special. So, and the second one is, at the time of graduation after the program, are we expected to come to ABU Zaria for collection of certificates, or is that going to be done at the centers closest to us, the resource centers closest to us? So those are the 2 questions I have.
All right.
Thank you.
Quality assurance officer will attend you.
Issue of certificate. Thank you. So regarding issue of semester, maybe the reason why you are getting it confused, the number of semester the person is telling you, probably because of the program you are running. If you are an MBA student or MPA student, they will tell you that you have 5 semesters to run. That is it. But for us, it's a sessional program. And when you talk of a session, the session is meant to be 2 semesters. We still run that one, but at the same time, we run 3 semesters in a year. And that's why we emphasize that the 3rd semester is a fast track semester. So, for example, if you are running an MBA program, it means you have 6 semesters. So it depends on how you want to spread it. If you start and you are consistent, you will finish just in yes, 4 semesters, yes. So you finish within a year and a half or so. So the semester basis depending on the program you are running, but every year we run 3 semesters. And then regarding the collection of certificate, as it is now, once you are done with your program, you are expected to come and collect your certificate in Zaria. The center is making arrangement to see how they can ease the collection of certificate, but that has not been concluded yet. But we are hoping that very soon a decision will be reached between the center and the university in order to create a kind of relief on the collection of certificate. So please just be patient. Before the end of this semester, you will get a communication on the new modus operandi of collection of certificates.
All right, thank you. Samsung SF5.
Good afternoon.
Please, your name and you talk to us.
Yeah, my name is
Can only
Olawale
see
Samuel.
Samsung. Okay,
Can you hear me?
Olawale, talk to us. Yes, we can hear you. Go ahead and
Yeah,
talk
good
to us.
afternoon, sir. Good afternoon, everyone on the call.
Good afternoon.
I would like to seek a clarification regarding the course registration and payment. So yeah, I'm here to make payment for my courses here, and while trying to do so today, I noticed that the courses are categorized as compulsory and optional. So my question is it possible to pay for and register only for the compulsory courses while leaving the optional ones for now? Because the initial plan was to defer my admission until next semester. But if I can actually register by paying only for the compulsory courses, I would prefer to proceed with the registration with this this semester. I don't know if my question is clear.
All right, good. All right. The portal manager will answer you.
Which program are you doing?
Masters, MIM.
Masters in what? MIM?
Yes, MIM.
Okay, you have 5 compulsory and 2 elective to register.
Yeah, 5
And
compulsory and like 6 yeah.
2 elective. And you know,
Yeah.
the minimum credit you need for every semester is 12.
Okay.
And your own courses is 2 credit units.
Okay.
So at minimum to register 6 courses.
At minimum
Yes.
6 courses, right?
Yes.
Okay. It's 2 units, right?
Yes, it's 2 units.
Okay, 6 courses with 2 units. All right. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Those of us sitting here, we are joining us physical. I know some of you have questions, please. For now, we're going to attend to the people that are joining us physical. Please, is there anybody with a question? Please, okay, go ahead. We'll come back to those online, please. Yes. Please, can you be more audible? Okay. Under which program? Program, please. Yes. Are you okay? New students. Okay. If you go to the SIS portal, all right, there's a place where you can download your course structure. All right, where you see the number of courses you're supposed to take each semester, 100 level to 400 level for your program. All right, so that should be your guide. All right, so you should just try and download until I can get all the necessary courses you're supposed to register at each semester. All right, so even if you see courses on your dashboard, all right, you'll be able to know, okay, which one as for this semester, and which one am I supposed to register, and which one am I not supposed to register. All right, also, we have core courses, commit, and elective courses. All right, core courses are the one that you must register before you graduate. Elective help you get what you're supposed to accrue in terms of credit you need before you graduate. All right, so you're able to know which one elective one is for using that course structure which you download on the SIS portal. All right. Please go ahead. Okay. Okay.
What's making the decision based on transfer? Are you using your main account to transfer, or you can use any other skill? The second question is, for instance, I'm making a registration and I'm in Nigeria. I later transfer to maybe Ghana or Nigeria. First time, like,
Just answer the question. Answer the question.
Once you locate and you are asking what's the ability of getting examination, before every semester examination, an announcement will be made. So you can register and get your exams from that. But just as I said, once you are within the grade, you have to start the exams. It's only meant for those that are outside their country. So you can actually do your service and write exams anyway.
Okay, then your first question.
one is organization. I use my passport.
Yes, okay. If you select, okay, if you select transfer, that account number that you see on the screen is generated just for you, only you, and it only lasts for 30 minutes. It will expire after 30 minutes. So whatever means you use in making that payment, it will just be peculiar to your account, whether it's from POS, whatsoever. And once it is 30 minutes, that particular account number allocated to you will expire. Then another one has to be generated. Please, let's balance the gender. The lady, please, okay? We've been attending. Just the lady. Talk to us. Okay. Yeah. Okay, you try to log into the e-library.
Yes, I have that question here. So.
Okay, so please, maybe after this session, just to be the librarian itself will be demonstrated.
Okay.
Just let's attend to last two questions, please, from the people that have joined. Okay, sorry, please. Maybe we have attended to your question. Let's attend to another question. Go ahead. Okay.
When I took some practicals, not very those compulsory practicals, but as it stands, some practical courses are still showing outstanding. And we have made several complaints. We are putting the form at the app, but nothing has been done. So I don't just trying to bring it.
Okay, your assistant program coordinator will address that. Please, Mr. Bashir.
So having the paper usually for the which course specifically that's a chemistry of notes. So if you fill the Google form that shows that having any and you fill it, take the first thing out.
Okay, yes.
So you have to provide also evidence of payment. You make this for for some of the students are doing the course without making payments that much. So when you happen to register the course, you cannot see even if you do each get this. Where did you see the Google?
Last one, they respect.
Which one was going to be out?
Yes, please. I think let's take the last question, please, from this two. Those of you online, please, you can also drop your questions in the chat box, okay? We will attend to all questions and all presentations will be shared, okay, to all your mails. So thank you.
This orientation was expecting the see a notice to the new to the board. So I want to say such information, please. Yeah.
Please, usually, we always tell our students that your email is the primary means of communication with DLC. As the portal manager made mention, because I'm surprised when some people like try to register some courses, but they don't know it. At the beginning of each semester, the portal managers will send you the courses you're supposed to register to your email. Sometimes a lot of students don't pay attention to their emails. We've seen situations whereby people will appear before me for the physical screening, and we ask them, where are the forms? Say they didn't receive anything. Okay, we'll ask them, open your email. When we scroll, the forms are there. So always give priority to your email. DLC will never fail to send you information via your email, as far as your email is valid and active. Yeah, yes, that can happen as well. But after this exercise, please just be kindly meet any of us who address the issue of the email.
Okay, thank you. Someone said he or she went to JAM office for regularization of his admission. And then when the person went there, he saw that his course or her course was not on the JAM portal. So please.
Yes, please. There are some few courses. The newly added courses are yet to be added to the JAM portal. That is in the pipeline. The center is working because it's not just ordinarily. You don't call JAM and tell them to add courses. It has to be formal, and that process is in the pipeline very soon. And just bear with us. Maybe before the end of this semester, those courses will be captured by JAM. And always tell them you're going there for registration. Registration, you have to register for open and distance learning program, not generally regularization as the case may be. It's registration, not even at JAM office. Any CVT center can register you. Just tell them you want to register for open and distance learning program. It falls under the same category with National Open University, Sandwich, and what have you. Please, okay? Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Someone said, can a nursing student attend more than one result, like BNSC nursing and post-basic midwifery at the end of the study?
The question.
Can they attend both BNSC certificate and then post-basic midwifery at the end of the study?
For me, we should get the approval from the hospital. But for public health nursing, we have like 4 steps there. Start with the professional public health nursing council exam. We did that as public health nursing.
Okay. Someone said in the course of the presentation under the Deputy Director Academic Office that the presenter said if one should fail, he or she does not have to go back to the next semester. All right. So how will one clear those failed courses?
Maybe the president get those correct. I mentioned, I tried to explain that when I was trying to present different course structure or set courses, now become of courses, become and elective. So I said core courses, very core course, you must register it again, and then you must pass it before graduation. The registration may be for the subsequent semester or later. And then for the government, you must register and pass. But for elective courses, if you fail an elective course, you can choose to retake it again, or you can leave it. However, for that semester, it's going to affect your credit minute because it will be calculated at 0 point. That was what I said.
We find that a lot of students actually fail courses, lower courses, and move to higher courses. Any course you fail, you're meant to take those courses. You're meant to carry them over. You're meant to take them before moving to other courses. So we have people in 400 level having 100 level courses, 200 level carryovers. And without clearing those courses, you cannot graduate. So you are meant to clear your lower courses before you move to higher courses. Please make sure you keep that in mind. We have issues when it comes to presenting your results at Senate. They keep asking us, why are they in 400 level and they have 5, 6, 7 lower courses following them? So make sure you clear those lower courses before you continue moving to the higher courses. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Prof.
I think we've come to the end of but there are just 2 or 3 questions here. Just, I think one, we just match them. Okay. All right. As I was saying, just someone asked the nature of exams. As exams is usually face to face if you are in Nigeria, but if you are not in Nigeria, it's proctored. Okay, it is a proctored exam, and our exams are usually weekend and weekdays. Weekend starts Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. For the weekday exams, it's Monday to Friday. You can decide to go for the weekend or weekday, or you mix the two. Take your exam, some of your papers in weekend, or some of your exams in weekdays. If you are in Abuja, it doesn't mean you must write your exam in Abuja. You can decide to go to Kano, you can decide to go to Lagos, ceteris paribus, okay, all things being equal. I think that is that. Those of you joining online, we said you should drop all your questions in the chat box. We'll attend to all these questions after the presentation. In this, at this juncture, I would like to invite the Deputy Director Administration in person of Dr. Ibrahim Atiku to give us a closing remark.
Thank you very much, the director of the center, who has just left because of an official assignment. My deputy director, Nana Support, and deputy director academics, center secretary, the deans, other staff of the center, our students, good afternoon to you all. At this juncture, I would like to hope that both the students that are physically here with us and those that joined us virtually had a fruitful deliberation, and I hope you guys have learned one or two things. The only thing I would like to stress is that it's only one way to join ABU DLC or any other universities, but there are many ways to find yourself out of the university. One of the easiest ways to find yourself out of the university is to conduct yourself, concentrate on your studies, pass all your exams, and then you graduate successfully. And one of the shortest way out of the university is to engage yourself in exam malpractice. One of the speakers has stressed that do not find yourself engaged in any form of exam irregularities. One of my experience when we are addressing students that are invited here to face the panel for exam irregularity committees was that they will keep telling you that they have forgotten. They have forgotten. I cannot imagine somebody going into the exam will tell you he has forgotten a cheat note in his pocket or in his bag. I can't imagine that. So please advise, anytime you are going into the exam, search yourself before you are even searched. Make sure you're not carrying anything. And one of the things I always tell students is that even if you search yourself, once you find yourself seated in a particular seat in the exam venue, look around under the table by your side to make sure that there is no paper around. Because if mistakenly something is found around you, even if you are not the one that brought it in, once it is found relevant to the exam materials, you are in for it. So I hope we had a successful deliberations, and I hope the way we orient you and welcome you into the program, we will also meet in the nearest future during the convocation while you are graduating from the various programs under ABUDLs. Those that are physically with us here, I wish you a successful journey back to your respective destinations. And those that are joining us online, I wish you best. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Goodbye.
Thank you, sir.